for WhiteRa. He's getting additional cannons in his base somewhere. Not too sure where. There's some cannons. He does have an idle probe here. Got to get back to work. The extended thermal lance is now finishing up. Ooh, those phoenixes flying right over all of Dimaga's anti-air. Gonna take those out. These roaches, zerglings, just gonna take a little rest here, burrowing underground. I always find it funny how those roaches and zerglings, you can just see them, especially when it's a ultralisk. That's very interesting to see an ultralisk burrowed. Dimaga is not quite there it is. He sees it with his one zergling. He does see WhiteRa's attack. He's gonna have to move all his forces back, try to get back here in order to stop the Protoss advance. Protoss does have one attack on his ground and one attack on his air. He's gonna be able to clean up the main really easily if Dimaga does not reinforce this quickly enough. The Zealots moving forward. Duckload repositioning his forces. Tons of mutalisks out on the field now, getting attacked by the Stalkers and Void Rays. Two of those sentries are throwing down their Guardian Shields, but there's so many Zerg units, it does look like Dimaga is going to hold off this attack relatively easily. There are just these Void Rays left, and WhiteRa is just going to back out of there with his Stalkers, unable to break into the Zerg main there, and it is leaving a open avenue for Zerg to run into his base as well. The cannons are going to be able to hold the line for now. But Duckload's got to make something happen here. He did lose a lot of units during that exchange. It does look like Zerg lost an equal amount of stuff. Dimaga is getting up his third base once again, starting to mine the gas there. And we did see a lot of mutalisks lost during that match, during that battle. That Queen throwing down a transfuse on that weakened Hydralisk, going to be able to keep that alive for just a little bit longer. Spine crawlers going up on the backside, and more mutalisks spawning now. Duckload is continuing to get up his tech army and is going to rebuild that pylon and is going to continue to try to push. This probe is sitting right next to the Zergling, not quite knowing that the Zergling is there. Duckload is continuing to push up here, and Dimaga's roaches and Hydralisks are waiting on the high ground. The two spine crawlers are also up. The Colossus are going to start using their range to work on the Zerg buildings here, and we do have the major engagement coming up. The Zealots charging forward, and the Colossus getting focused down there. That Colossus is also getting focused down. No more Colossus out on the field for Duckload, but he still has his main Stalker, Zealot, Sentry army, as well as the Void Rays. One Void Ray getting taken out there. All the Queens moving forward. Tons of Queens out on the field. More Stalkers reinforcing this mix. WhiteRa is getting quite a bit high on that money. More Colossus on the way. I heard a transfuse probably on that spine crawler. Does want to keep it alive as much as possible. We do have photon cannons going down here as well. Still that one Zergling blocking the way of an expansion, I guess. The first observer is now moving up to the high ground. Does want to check out what's going on over here so that he can secure that expansion. Gonna be able to fry that one Zergling there. Don't know who got the kill. Perhaps the Colossus did. If we go back to the production tab, we see that Dimaga is continuing to get those roaches and mutalisks out and is taking his fourth base up in the top corner. Duckloaded doing some long distance mining here. His main is completely mined out. His natural is looking a little bit dry. Still some idle probes here. He may want to try to expand over here. The Mutalisk fleet or flock is getting quite large here, so WhiteRa is going to have to find a way to deal with that. Maybe pump out those Phoenix once again to try to deal with that, or get lots of Stalkers. Maybe even try to get some Blink. He's getting out his Warp Prism now. Going to try to do some Warp Prism harass. War Prism is now complete. We'll see where this decides to go. We have the Mutalisks poking in the side. The Stalkers and the Lone Phoenix are gonna be able to deal with that. The Mutalisks coming up here again, gonna try to take out that gas there. The Phoenix moving a little bit ahead of itself. More Phoenix reinforcing here. Phoenix are such fast units now to produce. Actually, they were fast units to begin with. These Mutalisks are countered by the Phoenix, but there are only 2 Phoenix on the field, and it does look like WhiteRa is looking to do another push into the main. The Phoenix flying overhead, gonna be able to deal with the Mutalisks, or try to deal with the Mutalisks. Looks like WhiteRa doesn't have enough anti-air. All those Mutalisks are just destroying the Colossus, and the Stalkers don't really stand a chance. Does look like Dimaga's Mutalisks are cleaning up here. Is gonna back out of there though, because there are cannons on the ground and Stalkers parked right next to them. It does look like Duckload is able to secure this expansion, patiently waiting to get additional expansions up. Stalkers moving into Dimaga's main, gonna take out a couple of drones there. But there's not that much here. Maybe he can take out a queen or two, but the Mutalisks are now moving forward and are picking off those Stalkers one by one, almost one-shotting them, even though Stalkers are armored. Ooh, I missed the War Prism attack there while focusing, and Dimaga has taken his 5th base. Protoss is looking quite a ways behind. Additional Stalkers spawning here to deal with the Mutalisk count, but it's not quite enough, I don't think, because we do have 66 food in comparison to Dimaga's 140, and Duckload. WhiteRa does GG out of this game, so this game has gone to Dimaga. I did download 2 other games. I don't know if they are playing a show match, but we will have those games up for you real soon as well. This is Aegis signing off.